My name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we have to go over this gamma squeeze situation that is going on. We're going to briefly talk about what is actually happening, what is causing this gamma squeeze, because that is very important to understand. But we need to go over how many shares could potentially be bought back during a gamma squeeze situation, give you guys my totally unprofessional, non-financial advisor opinion on how high we could go throughout the rest of this week with a potential gamma squeeze. Now this is not to get your guys' expectations up by any means. Take this information with a grain of salt, critique this analysis down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, let me know in the comment section what you guys are doing with your position. Do you have a sellout price after this dips we have seen? Are you fearful? Are you greedy? Are you buying the dip? Let me know what you guys are doing. That is very important that we all know where we are at on the same page or not. So let's get into this video, guys. And first off, yes, we are seeing a bit of a gamma squeeze. I think that is what is happening today. And this is mainly due to the fact that AMC did acquire two long-term leases for two of the highest grossing revenue theaters in Los Angeles. Now this did two very important things for AMC stock. On the one hand, it does show that Adam Aron and his team of executives know exactly what they are doing. They have a plan and they know how to execute to grow the business with all of this cash they have recently acquired from share offerings. But on the other hand, I know I say this in pretty much every video, this did raise the needle up a little bit higher for AMC stock. So at this point, your potential upside is a lot more than your potential downside. And I would make a justifiable, reasonable argument that AMC could be worth in between $20 and $30 per share. So if you stand to lose about 30-35% on the downside, but you potentially could make hundreds of percents with a short squeeze, I think the answer is clear on what most investors would plan to do. Specifically, when you do start to see these moves like we did see today, that is why you're seeing a lot of gamma activity going on, a lot of delta hedging, which is just a fancy way of saying the market makers actually having to buy these shares. Now, to fully understand what delta hedging is and a gamma squeeze, we're going to give you guys a quick example of how this does work in the markets, because it is very simple to understand, and this is something everybody must know. So let's say, for an example, you have a $45 call. That means you have the right to buy 100 shares at $45 per share by this expiration date. Now, 9 times out of 10, you actually see market makers coming on the back end of this agreeing to sell you 100 shares at $45. So what happens when the share price starts to go up a lot? You see a lot of buying going in. That is delta hedging by market makers, hedge funds, institutions, whoever is on the back end of this trade, to sell them to you at a premium, because we know the market makers, hedge funds, institutions, they don't like to lose. Essentially, the casino never loses, and that is what options are. If you don't know how to trade them, especially, this will definitely feel like a casino. But odds are they're buying these shares, let's say at $44 per share, they're selling to you at $45, so they would be making $100 per options contract. Now, that was just an example. This can work in a plethora of different ways, and I'm not saying this is the only way this does happen, but essentially they're buying the shares to sell them to you at a higher price. Nevertheless, you're seeing open market buying going on, a ton of it, to hedge these options. So that is exactly what a gamma squeeze is in a nutshell. That is what you guys do need to know. But to fully understand why we are experiencing this start of the gamma squeeze today, it is simply based off of expectations. One of the biggest ways you guys can actually see expectations is the implied volatility, and some of these contracts are over 300% implied volatility. This is implying the potential move to the upside or downside you could see. So I don't think any one market maker thought that we would move 25% based off of this news that we did get yesterday, that we went over in the beginning of this video. Now, you also did see a lot of hedging going in the last hour of trading today. You see this reflected in the volume when we did start to see this move, hitting $44.39 on the high end. So this to me tells me we are likely to continue to see this gamma squeeze effect throughout the rest of this week. Also, when trying to figure out how high AMC could go with a potential gamma squeeze, you guys have to remember this is speculation, this is not fact, this is only my opinion, so do not get mad about this. It is not doing you any harm. I wouldn't base any expectations off of this. I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner, or your dad. We are just providing the due diligence that you guys need to know, so don't make any trades based off of anything that is said in this video or any other YouTube video, and always verify everything for yourselves. But from what I have gathered from my due diligence in between the $45 strike and the $55 strike, as far as the open interest is concerned and how many shares this does control, you're looking at about 4 million shares that would need to be hedged. Now, $55 is not too far away from where we are currently at. If we see another 25% day, we're going to go to $55 per share, or a little bit over that. So I do think this is definitely possible. 4 million shares is not a small amount. It's not a crazy large amount. After 55, obviously you see a lot of volume at the $60 strike as well, but in between about 55 and 60, you're not seeing too much activity. There's also a lot of variables that we just don't have any control over. That is if shorts do start to cover. That is if you're seeing actual FOMO buyers or day traders jumping into the stock. A lot of day traders use options, so there's a high possibility you could see a lot of short-term delta hedging just because a lot of traders are getting into this, as well as FOMO buyers, like I said, but even hedge funds and institutions making bets on AMC stocks. There's a lot of variables that we don't know, but if I were to estimate, we're looking at about $55 by the end of the week. It's very important that you guys understand this is only speculation. I'm not a financial advisor. I will say that yet again. That is only my prediction. If we continue to see this momentum and delta hedging that is going on with the stock like we did see today, and odds are we will see most of this volume like we did see today actually come in for the last hour or so of trading, and that is what we did see today. That is what I expect throughout the rest of the week. So I think most of your moves are going to come in the second half of trading tomorrow throughout the rest of the week. But when I'm talking about a gamma squeeze, I think it is only right to actually warn you guys about the dangers here and how we are potentially feeding into market makers, specifically Citadel, because they are the largest retail market maker, essentially giving them free money to stay in these short positions for an even longer period of time. So I personally think in between about $40 and $50 strikes, those aren't as bad. Obviously, I wouldn't be buying them this week, expiring in 3 days, but a lot of people are seeing these prices. They're seeing the premiums go crazy. They're buying a lot of these contracts in between $70 and $145 strikes. You're seeing thousands of open interest between these strikes, and what you are doing is you are giving the market makers all this money. You're giving them, for the $70 strike, you're looking at about $53 for this contract. If AMC doesn't go close to $70, the market makers, the hedge funds, institutions, whoever is on the back end of these trades will keep all of your money. And there's no saying if they will actually hedge for these options. Maybe if we get to about $60, $65, even $67, you'll start to see some hedging for the 70s. But especially the 145s or really over 100, you're not going to see any hedging that is happening unless we do see a parabolic move in AMC stocks. So a lot of you guys are giving the market makers free premium to stay in their short position, specifically Citadel, because they do have a short position on AMC stock at $6 per share. They are currently down about 900% on that short position. So I think that's a huge reason why a lot of these shorts have not covered yet, and that is a big warning that I did want to give you guys. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I were to be buying these options, I would probably go in between $40 and the $50 strike. I wouldn't be too inclined to go further out. Maybe the 55, you're not really helping the overall gamma squeeze here unless we do start to go close to $50 or over $50 per share for AMC stock. So that is going to conclude this video. If you guys like the analysis, the content, due diligence I provided in the video, make sure to hit that like button as well as comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing with your AMC positions. It is very important that we are all on the same page and know what other apes are doing with their positions, as well as consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. Also, if you guys want to get totally free stock, check out the link down below for public, no deposit necessary, no need to link a bank account. You get up to $70 in your choice free stock, and it is literally free money. They also do not use payment for order flow, so you guys take some money away from Citadel's pockets as being a huge buyer of payment for order flow, and a lot of manipulation that does happen there. But your orders, point is, with public, go straight to lit exchanges, so you're ultimately helping the movement more than you do realize. As well as if you guys want to be notified every time a trade is made, whether it's a day trade, swing trade, or long-term investments with stock, options, or crypto in AMC or any other stock, check out the link for the buy and sell alerts. With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.